So going back to what we were talking about, here we're up at our strike. To go past strike, we actually have this button right up here on top. To get past that, if you come up directly with the drag, it won't go any further. So you actually have to push this button in, and that'll go ahead and let the drag be able to go over the top. And you see I can go ahead and push the drag up with my thumb, no problem with one finger. Like we were talking about earlier, you got to use two. Well, using two going up, you can. One's okay. But when you're coming back, if I use just my finger, I don't have as much control over where I'm going. So when we back our drag off, we always want to use our two fingers, slowly bring it back, 3 clicks, 4 clicks, whatnot. This is our strike indicator. It says strike up here, but we want to have a little bit more weight, poundage and stuff like that for up here at the top. So we bring our strike down to a little bit lower. Right here, I'm probably at about 28 pounds. We come down to here, into this area. That's typically if we have a smaller fish or a fish that's acting like it might be hootered, which is where the hook actually goes around the bill. And if you see that and you know that, and if you can keep that fish leading and you following it, you've got a really good chance of being able to tag that fish. If you've got heavier drag on that fish and it's on the bill and you end up turning it towards you, it could slip off. You could lose your tag points, you could lose your fish or whatever. So it's really important to kind of try to realize and see where your fish is hooked. That's why we use a lot of different colored electrical tapes on our hook rigs, so we can kind of identify where that hook might be, whether it's wrapped around the bill, whether we got a solid hookup or not. But typically back into here, that's our red, and one click from there, I'm in free spool. So just being just over that mark right there, it's easier for the angler. There's not a whole lot of tack or pressure coming off the line here. And we're more safe on the fish making that fast run, opposed to being up in this area, which is going to put a lot more pressure onto the fish. So again, 2 fingers when you're using the drag setting. When you're coming up on it, it's not as important because you're coming up into more pressure. But when you're coming down, you're relaxing the pressure on the drag, so you want to use 2 fingers coming down. Here is your clicker on here. This is your noise maker. So if you need to have a little bit of quietness and stuff, the first part of the run with the fish, we'd like to have the clicker on so I know what's going on while the rest of the line's getting cleared. And once we do that, and we need a little bit of silence, all you gotta do is reach down to here with the 1 finger and you're off your clicker. Now with these Shimanos, these are your 2-speed reels. To engage 2-speed, or your 1-to-1, right now we're in 2-to-1. To engage your single speed, we push this middle button right here in the middle, and now we're at 1-to-1. And it basically works just like a 10-speed. You know, you're lowering the gears, which is easier to wind on the fish. To get that out and go back to 2-speed, there's this little lever in here. All you do is slide it towards the center, and as you saw, that pops out. And now you are back into 2-to-1.